A question for the Vice President of the United States, Sister Kamala Harris. You were in Ghana a few days ago. Sister Kamala Harris, you were in Ghana a few days ago. Sister Kamala Harris, you was in my motherland a few days ago. You didn't go to Africa to cancel the debt that they shouldn't even owe to the World Bank and International Monetary Fund of the United States government. You didn't go to Ghana to cancel the debt that African nations owe to the World Bank and International Monetary Fund of Washington, D.C. You didn't go to Ghana to build no institutions for African people. You didn't go to Ghana to pay no reparations for African slavery. You didn't go to Ghana to do anything progressive for African people. And for all the problems we have in the African diaspora, we got wars going on in Africa. We got gang banging going on in Africa. We got genocide going on in Africa. We got hunger going on in Africa. Not that all of Africa is struggling with those things, because Africa is a modern paradise. But my point is, there are issues in Africa. We got coups that were financed by the U.S. government in Africa. We have coups, overthrow of democratically elected governments on African soil, financed by American CIA. But you didn't go to Africa to deal with them coups. You didn't go to Africa to deal with all the diseases y'all be dropping off. You didn't go to Africa to deal with all the mineral exploitation by the global white power structure. But you went to Africa to make Africa safe for the rainbow mafia. You went to Africa not to help a child, not to help a family, not to cancel no debt, not to build no institutions, not to address these coups that the CIA financed. You didn't go to Africa, Kamala Harris, to do anything progressive. You went to Africa to make Ghana safe for the rainbow mafia. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Lord, of all the problems you could have dealt with in Africa, like reparations for American theft of African bodies for 400 years, like reparations for American theft of African bodies for 400 years, like reparations for American theft of African bodies, you didn't deal with that. No, no, no. You went to Ghana to make it safe for the rainbow mafia. You flew how many thousand miles? You flew how many thousand miles to do what? Have a conversation with the president to make sure Ghana is safe for the rainbow mafia. No disrespect to my African rainbow gangers. No disrespect to my African rainbow gangers. No disrespect to my African rainbow gangers. But if you can't see the agenda, if you still can't see the agenda by now, if there is any question left in your mind that the whole purpose of the 𝚂𝚗𝙺𝚴 phenomenon, the whole purpose of the rainbow gang mafia, the whole purpose of this agenda in Africa is the extermination of black life. It is the repudiation of the black family. It is about the genocide of God's original people. Why does America care how Africa chooses to regulate familyhood? What does America care for how Africa chooses to run their culture? What does America care for how Africa decides to define family? Since when did America care about black families? Since when did America care about black families? I mean, you sold us away from our mothers. You raped our mothers in front of our face and sold us away. You beat and castrated our fathers, sold him away. You took the slave children away from the slave mother before the natural bond of affection and affiliation can be born. When you look at the scientific, demonic process of making a slave in America, how can you then conclude 157 years post 13th Amendment that you now care about the black family, but you don't care about the natural black family? You don't care about the natural black family. You don't care about the natural black family. I don't hear you pushing man, woman, and child in Africa, Kamala Harris. I don't hear you pushing man, woman, and child in Africa. The reason you're not pushing man, woman, and child, because Africa already has man, woman, and child. And Africa had man, woman, and child before Asia had it. Africa had man, woman, and child before Europe had it. Africa had man, woman, and child before Australia had it. Africa had man, woman, and child before North America had it. Africa had man, woman, and child before South America had it. Africa had man, woman, and child before the Caribbean had it. So we don't need you to push a black family agenda. So if you're not pushing a natural family agenda in Africa, what is the nature of your family agenda? I'm going to call it disfamily agenda. What is the nature of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's disfamily agenda? You got police killing black people like it's going out of style. You got police killing black people like it's going out of style. You got police in America killing black people like it's going out of style. We had a brother lynched by the police in Memphis. We had another brother beheaded in Mississippi. Beheaded in Mississippi. Emmett Till 2023. Emmett Till 2023. No answers for that. We got a Jackson water crisis. We got a Flint, Michigan water crisis. And instead of taking care of the black people who voted your ass in office, Kamala Harris, instead of taking care of the black people who voted your ass in office, Kamala Harris, instead of taking care of the black people who voted your ass in office, Kamala Harris, you get on a plane. You get on a plane and you take your ass several thousand miles to the birth of civilization. You walk into the western shore of the homeland of civilization and you manipulate the president of Ghana into modifying his anti-rainbow policies. You manipulate the president of Ghana into modifying his anti-rainbow policies. You have lost your mind. I need the AKAs to speak to this. I love my Alpha Kappa Alphas, but your soror is out of line. I said I love my AKAs. I love the pink and green. Y'all some fine ass sisters. You understand me? But your soror is out of line. So the question is, when are the lovely ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated going to send a message to the Vice President of the United States? We love you, soror, but you are not taking care of business. What are you doing in Africa pushing rainbow policy when you should be in the United States protecting the Africans who voted you into office? How about some police policy? How about some gentrification policy? How about some miseducation policy? How about some mass incarceration policy? How about some reparations policy? How about some economic policy? Kamala Harris, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Instead, you want to go to Africa and try to convince the oldest human civilization on the planet Earth. You want to go to Africa and you're trying to convince the oldest human civilization on the planet Earth to abandon man, woman, and child. To abandon the original holy trinity of man, woman, and child. You want Ghana, you want Nigeria, you want Senegal, you want Cote d'Ivoire, you want Togo and Benin, you want Gambia and Zambia, you want the Congo, you want the entire continent to abandon the original holy trinity of man, woman, and child and instead embrace the ungodly. You want Africa to embrace the ungodly. I'm warning my presidents of Africa, and I'm warning my presidents of Africa. 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 I'm warning my presidents of Africa, but I don't want my African nations to fall out of divine alignment with supreme consciousness. I don't want my African nations to fall out of divine alignment with supreme consciousness. I don't want my African nations to fall out of divine alignment with supreme consciousness. I don't want that to happen. So African countries, you must resist the agenda of the European power structure that wants you to pollute the holy trinity family structure of man, woman, and child. Don't let that happen. America will have to face judgment from supreme consciousness for promoting that type of lifestyle amongst our children. America will have to face supreme consciousness for promoting that type of lifestyle amongst our children. Ghana, don't you fall for it. Nigeria, don't you fall for it. We don't create life, we procreate life. So I'm not a fan of executions, but I'm a fan of spending the rest of your life in prison if you can't follow the rules of righteous African civilization. If you can't follow the rules of righteous African civilization, maybe you need to be hospitalized for the rest of your years, because we cannot allow any threat to the survival of the black family. We're not against nobody. We don't push harm or hurt or violence against nobody. We are simply saying that we are here to protect the sanctity. We are here to protect the sanctity of the original holy African trinity of man, woman, and child. That's all we saying. But let me tell you why Kamala Harris has a rainbow agenda. Okay? Snow puppy husband, but a rainbow agenda for Africa. Snow puppy husband, but a rainbow agenda for Africa. Snow puppy husband, but a rainbow agenda for Africa. The reason Kamala Harris has that agenda, because the American power structure knows that if they legalize anti-African family in Africa, if they legalize unnatural unions in Africa, if they legalize unnatural union in Africa, sooner or later, there will be a rainbow candidate for president in Ghana. Sooner or later, there will be a rainbow candidate for president in Nigeria. Sooner or later, there will be a rainbow candidate for president in Gambia, in Senegal, in Togo, in Benin. There will be a rainbow president in Ethiopia, in Eritrea. There will be a rainbow candidate for president. I see what they're doing. Can you understand, overstand, and understand? I see what they're doing, but can you understand, overstand, and understand? I see what they're doing, but can you understand, overstand, and understand? Make it normal, make it legal. Once it's normal and legal, we are going to finance an entire slate of rainbow presidential candidates across the continent of Africa. The U.S. government, the CIA, France, London, Belgium, Germany, Canada, they will finance an entire election of rainbow presidents across the continent of Africa. And once you get one elected rainbow in Africa, once you get two elected rainbows in Africa, once you get three elected rainbows in Africa, once you get four elected rainbows in Africa, the policy can now be implemented that it is safe for the rainbow nation throughout the continent. And once it's safe for the rainbow nation throughout the continent, the Center for Disease Creation and the Food and Drug Administration and the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and the Wahlbergs and the Federal Reserve, they're going to start injecting rainbow black men with a whole new list of diseases. You heard me. AIDS is nothing but a picnic compared to what they got coming down. They done already told you they have HIV too. They done already told you there's an HIV-1 and now they have an HIV-2. Well, guess what? Once they finish pushing the rainbow agenda in Africa, there will be an HIV-3, an HIV-4, an HIV-5, an HIV-6, an HIV-7, an HIV-8. They're going to infect every black woman in Africa with a white man-made disease through her rainbow partner. I'm going to say it again. The plan is real simple. They're already doing it in America. The plan is real simple. Make Africa safe for the rainbow. Once Africa is safe for the rainbow, we're going to finance an entire slate of rainbow presidential candidates across Africa. Once we get a few rainbows in office, they're going to change the policy, make it safe for the rainbow nation. Bill Gates and the rest of those population control eugenicidal junkies are going to start infecting rainbow black men in Africa with the new form of HIV and a whole bunch of other diseases. And once the men get the diseases, they are going to start infecting black women with the disease. But in order to do this, in order to commit mass extermination on African soil, in order to commit mass genocide on African soil, they have to make Africa safe for the rainbow. Do you understand, overstand, and understand? Do you understand, overstand, and understand? Do you understand, overstand, and understand? This ain't nothing but birth control through rainbow black men. This ain't nothing but birth control through rainbow black men. This ain't nothing but birth control through rainbow black men. You can fool some of the Africans all the time, and you can fool all the Africans some of the time. You can't fool the Prince of Pan-Africanism any of the time. I said you can fool all Africans sometimes, and some Africans all the time, but you can't fool the Prince of Pan-Africanism any of the time. Stop calling my phone when I'm live because you're disrupting my feed. Stop calling my phone. Anyone who calls my phone will be blocked. Call my phone when I'm live and I'm blocking you because you're messing up my feed. Stop calling my damn phone when I'm live. Where's my school? I'm at my school. That's a very silly question. I'm not even going to respond to any more silliness. Where is my school? And I'm sitting at the school. Where is my school? And I'm sitting at the school. Where is my school? And I'm sitting at the school. Listen, I'm not smoking, my brother. I got the shrines out here. I got the shrines out here. Y'all don't know nothing about this. I got the shrines out here, brothers and sisters. Ain't nobody smoking. I'm chilling with the Holy Spirits right now. I'm chilling with the Holy Spirits right now. Ain't nobody smoking. I'm chilling with the Holy Spirits right now. Me and Eshu hanging out. Me and Ogun hanging out. You understand me? Me and Ifa hanging out. Me and Orunmila hanging out. You understand me? Because there's so many Negropeans out there, I gotta stay covered down in the spirit. So many Negropeans out there, I gotta stay covered down in the spirit. So many Negropeans out there, I gotta stay covered down in the spirit. So ain't nobody smoking. I'm burning sage to Eshu. I'm burning sage to Ogun. I'm burning sage to Ochosi. I'm burning sage to the Agungun. I'm burning sage to my Egbe Orun. I'm burning sage to Obatala and Oya and Oshun and Olokun and Yemoja and Babaluaye and Abeji. I'm burning sage to make sure I'm covered down in spirit. You might not understand, overstand, or understand. You might not understand, overstand, or understand. You might not understand or overstand. Hit your Cash App, $FDMG School. Hit your PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. First school in American history built exclusively by the African diaspora. We working, brothers and sisters. This year's African Liberation Week, I will be in the island of Martinique, May 18, 19, and 20. Island of Martinique, May 18, 19, and 20. Caribbean island of Martinique, May 18, 19, and 20. Caribbean island of Martinique, May 18, 19, and 20. Republic of South Africa, Johannesburg and Durban, May 21, 22, 23. Johannesburg and Durban, May 21, 22, 23. Johannesburg and Durban, May 21, 22, 23. Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. Where my Ethiopian Africans at? Where my South Africans at? Where my Martinique Africans at? I'm starting African Liberation Week in Martinique. 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 May 18, 19, and 20. South Africa, May 21, 22, 23. South Africa, Johannesburg and Durban, May 21, 22, and 23. Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, cradle of civilization. African Liberation Day, May 25th and 26th, I will be in the Kingdom of Ethiopia, African Union, Addis Ababa, Pan-Africanism of Parish, King Kong Consciousness is speaking in Ethiopia for the first time ever. King Kong Consciousness, African Liberation Day, May 25th.